Today we're going to make deviled eggs. So for this recipe, you're going to need salt and pepper, some Worcestershire sauce, some vinegar, some mayonnaise, some mustard, and some paprika. And of course, eggs. Now, you want to hard boil your eggs first. Now you can do it the old-fashioned way on the stove. Put some eggs in a little pan with some cold water and bring it up to boil for about 12 minutes. And then put them in an ice bath right away. Or if you have an Instant Pot, which I do, this is the greatest thing for making eggs. Put them in your Instant Pot. You just put the eggs in your Instant Pot. You take the water in this little cup they give you and just put some water in there, and that's it. And then now we're cooking. Alright, so now we're going to hit the egg button. Now it's already going to be on the one I have it on, normal and at high pressure. So if you have an Instant Pot that's not on there, and you can adjust it, but this works for me. Every time I make any kind of hard-boiled egg, it just remembers the settings of your last time, so it's already on. But this is the settings I use to make your basic hard-boiled eggs. Alright, so we're waiting on the last minute here before this beeps. Got my ice bath ready and my little tongs. There it is. Alright, so now we're going to take out all of our eggs very carefully and put them in a little ice bath. So that stops the cooking right away, what you want. And again, if you cook them on the stove, do the same thing. Just drain them or just pick them out and put them in an ice bath real quick. And you just kind of want to, you know, stop them from cooking. Got a couple in the bottom here. And there. And just let them sit for a while and cool down. Because you want to cool them enough that they stop cooking and that you can actually touch them. So now we're going to peel the eggs. Just peel them all and set them aside. Hey, they come right out. Look at that. Look at that. Cut these eggs in half. Like that. And pop the old yolks into this little bowl. And just slice them, you know, lengthwise like that. There we go. And one more. Alright. There. Okay, so when you have them all de-yolked, alright, you have a little plate with these little shells, which we're going to fill in a minute. Set them over there. So now we have just a bunch of yolks. No yolk. Okay, so now we need a fork. Whoop. Alright, so we're going to smash up all the yolks with a fork. That's the first thing. Alright, so smash up all the yolks till they look, you know, like that. And then the first thing I do is salt and pepper them suckers. Salt them. Give the pepper, that's good. Salt. A little bit of salt. Alright. Now, the thing about this is that I do not measure anything much. Okay, it's all by taste. So you mix up the salt and pepper real good with the eggs. So yeah, salty eggs and pepper there. The next thing I do is I go in with the vinegar, white vinegar. I guess you could use different vinegar if you want, but I go in with the white vinegar, and you know, they're a capful, maybe 2 capfuls. You want the vinegar. The vinegar is what helps make it really zingy. So you want a good amount of vinegar. And like I say, I don't measure everything because it depends on how many eggs you have and how much, you know, how much you like it. how zingy you like it, but they tend to lose a little of their zing in the fridge, so there. You kind of have to taste it as you go. And so right now we've got about 2 caps of vinegar in there, and we might add more. So next, I put a little dash of Worcestershire sauce, like that. Not too much. Not too much of that, because that's got a strong flavor and you don't want too much of that. Smells good. And then next, now you can use any mustard you want, like a Dijon. I like this one, Nancy Sharp and Creamy. I think it's great. It's delicious. So I just kind of put a little bunch in there. Again, I don't measure. This is just real life, real life. We don't always, we just make it. We don't always sit there and measure. All right, and then let's see. We take a little mayonnaise. You gotta have some mayonnaise. There we go. Maybe that much. No, not a spoonful. That's a bigger spoon. So a little bit of mayonnaise. And just mix it up. You see how it's looking? Now, if you put too much mayonnaise in, it'll be a little, and I might have put it more than I need, because it's a little bit, it could be thicker, but I put in maybe a little too much mayo, and that's okay. It'll just be a little less firm when you stuff the eggs. Okay, so now is the time where I have to take a taste and see what I need to adjust. So let's see. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so there you go. Now, obviously I was a little hasty with my mayonnaise, and I could have put a little less in. That's okay. But here's the consistency we ended up with. And you can judge as you make it yourself. See? It's a little thinner than I would want it to be, but it's still gonna be delicious. What I'm gonna do is just stuff these little eggs. See, so it'll be a little less firm. It's maybe a little easier to work with if it's a little thinner. That's okay. The important thing is you want it to be zingy. I mean, unless you don't, and that's okay. So you're gonna stuff all these eggs, and then we're gonna sprinkle them with some paprika. Now, before I put them on a nice dish, I take some paprika and I just kind of sprinkle them with paprika. Then you can put maybe, parsley on there too if you want, but paprika works good. Works well. Alright, so just like that, and then we're going to put them on a nice plate and put them in the fridge. So here we have the eggs, and generally I put little toothpicks in them so they're easy to grab, and put them in the fridge. And there you have it, deviled eggs ready for the fridge.